Man, that guy ain't right.
Now you pass on the knowledge.
I've built a Nissan 240SX that I give you the keys to.
It's crazy. I want to experience what it's like.
I'm building an army. I've had like 50 students. It's crazy.
Welcome back to another Slush Motorsports Podcast. I don't know what episode this is, but I'm really excited for this one because we have a very special guest. He's very experienced, especially on the drift side of things within the car community. And he's from Maryland. He's not from Colorado. So he's going to give us a little bit of history about Maryland car culture and about where he came from and how he grew up and what got him into FD. But without further ado, I want to introduce Alex. Okay, your last name is hard to pronounce.
It is.
But is it Lichliter?
It is. Lichliter. Like you're licking a lighter.
Lichliter.
Can't mess it up. Lichliter.
Well, thank you for being here with us today.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me out.
How are you feeling?
Great. It's good to be in Denver and Colorado, man. This place is always so hip, you know?
Yeah. Have you been here before?
Oh, yeah. You guys got the crazy temps and it snows and it melts the same day and
Yeah.
elevation and all the things. It's crazy.
Nothing like Maryland, though, huh?
I'm not gonna say,
I was born in D.C.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But I need to actually go out there and experience the culture. Isn't Maryland where H2OI was?
That's right. Yeah.
That was a whole crazy thing within car culture.
Yeah.
You
So
were
on
around
the
all
East
that?
Coast, we got the beach, right? Because we're
Right.
on the Atlantic Ocean right there, and HUI is the like Volkswagen, Audi, like the European car scene. It's a car show, but if you got a sporty car, you coming out, even
Right.
if it's Japanese or European or whatever, right? Even then, trucks started coming out and stuff, but huge car culture there, but it's exploded to something that's got a bad name now. And like, I don't know, I've been a couple years, but once it started getting like super crazy and they're like flipping over cop cars, I was like,
Yeah, it got
maybe
pretty
I'm not
insane.
gonna hang out here anymore.
That was like probably the first experience of like takeover style.
Yeah,
Stuff in car
I
culture,
guess if
honestly,
we're
huh?
talking about like the birth of takeovers,
Yeah.
maybe it originated from something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's when YouTube was kind of like starting to really pop off. around
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time. But there was the one guy, I'm a good friend with him, Crispy Media.
Oh yeah, I know Crispy.
Yeah, he was filming all that stuff, and I was like, it looked like a fun place to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it was like great. I heard it was great like the first couple years, then it just
For
transitioned
sure, because she was just cruising down Coastal Highway, man, and
Yeah.
it's like light after light, and like you're not gonna get up anywhere more than like 40 or 50 miles an hour
Yeah.
unless you be running, but just driving up and down Coastal Highways, it's like 200 streets.
So you would participate in it, and would you show up?
You
to that
just like
event?
cruise your car around, and like
Yeah.
you look to your left and there's an R34, and you
Yeah.
look to your right, and there's
Yeah.
this like bad car, it's like Supra or something, or M3 or something, and
Yeah.
it's just cool to be in the car culture, just driving around cruising.
So how was it for you to experience the whole lifespan of H2I, to see it start from this to go to this?
Well,
and then it's like, this is your hometown, like this is your car culture.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up on the Eastern Shore, but it's definitely something I look forward to each year.
Yeah.
We all have events that we look forward to, and it's just nice that, this event was growing so much that people were coming not only just from out of state, people started coming in from out of country.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's
Yeah.
so wild.
It was wild. Yeah.
And it's just cars everywhere. I mean, you
Yeah.
can go anywhere. I mean, you could even get a hotel room on Ocean City right there, and just pull up a chair, like a pull-out chair, and just sit down, and you just watch hundreds and thousands of cars all night long cruising up and down Coastal
crazy.
Highway. Some would be running, some were just cruising, some would just park in the parking lot. There was random car meets and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like, you and your best friends be going up to your favorite restaurant or something
Yeah.
and having like a car thing outside or on the water.
Yep.
And dude, and you end your night, hanging out, on the beach, chilling. Like, it's cool. It's a cool environment.
So how was Maryland's car culture outside of H2OI?
So Maryland's really in a fortunate place because we have access to so many racetracks, right? So Maryland International Raceway is like one of the most famous drag strips in the country. People do come from all over to drag race, and that's where like the Nopi days would happen, where import versus domestics. So I mean, I remember going to Nopi in like 2005 or something. I was just a kid in high school, and it was just like so cool to see,
Yeah.
this Civic beat this, Mustang or, whatever, and it's great. So we have a huge culture in the drag race world. There's so many drag strips in Maryland. But like I was saying, just culture, like within a 3-hour radius in the surrounding states of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, West Virginia, Yeah, even Delaware. There's so many road courses and dirt tracks, and dude, there's racing for everything. You want to rally, you want to demolition derby. I mean,
They
drifting.
got it all. Yeah, they got it all.
Time attack.
Yeah.
You name it. Like
That's cool.
The DMV, the Mid Atlantic area is a home for motorsports, and that's why I think a lot of successful drivers have birthed from that area of the country.
That makes sense. Yeah, I definitely want to go check out the car scene out there.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hopefully within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Because it does sound exciting, and I do hear good things about it. So, and obviously you guys were able to make H2OI pretty big. Like, that says a lot.
Yeah.
So there's some culture out there.
Yep.
I noticed, like, because we do festivals in different states.
Sure.
And when we travel, you can tell the differences between each culture. Like, car culture is car culture, but each coast, each city, they all do it differently.
All different, man.
They all have different styles, different tastes.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely interested to see what Maryland's about. What was your pathway in Maryland? Like, what car did you start with? Like, what are you a do or die fan of? You said you were happy to see a Honda beat a Mustang. Like, why is that?
Well, I was just always into imports. I mean, I think it's just our age and our culture growing up watching Fast and Furious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing all those cars and those movies, your dad and grandpa always had those muscle cars, which are sick, right? But when you're 16, 17, 18, you can't afford, an old muscle car like that. They're like, the price inflated too much, and it's crazy. Back when they were kids, they could afford that. Well, when we were kids, we could afford Honda Civics, and we could afford. Dude, I had a Cavalier. It was my first car. And I
Honda Civics are going for like $5,000 now, aren't they? Like, they're going up.
What, Honda Civics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been out the Honda game for a long time, bro. I'm rear wheel drive for life now.
I've been seeing some online. They'll go for like 5 to 7. Like, right? They'll go for like 5 to 7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Preludes are like $7,000 now.
Yeah, but Prelude is kind of iconic though. That like wide body Honda like that.
$1,700 running.
Right.
Dang. That's
So yeah,
crazy.
I just grew up in the imports world, and like I said, Fast and Furious was a big inspiration, and then I started getting like the import tuner magazines and Modified Mag and stuff, and get the car on the cover, and you're like, dude, what kind of car is this? Because like cars are so body kitted back then and paint and stuff. And you're like, I don't even know. And then you see the title and it says S13.5, and you're like, what the heck is that?
What's that? 13.5, yeah.
Because it don't have the Nissan logo on it, so I'm like, dude,
For the
what is
people who
that?
don't know, how would you explain what an S13.5
Oh,
is?
yeah. So in the drifting world, iconically, the number one drift car that birthed, drifting was the 240SX, Nissan 240SX. And they had 3 different trim levels. You had the S13, S14, and S15. And they became so popular that people started taking parts off the S14 and putting them on the S13 and vice versa. And so whenever you like mix and mate and match, you kind of say like what the chassis code is. So you might have an S14.5 because you put an S15 front end on or tail end on or whatever.
So that's all you need basically is like one item from a previous generation on the car. Then it's like it could be considered a 0.5.
To my definition, I mean, don't quote me, some hardcore, Nissan guys be like, man, that guy ain't right. But that's how I would pick it up, like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, what cars do you have now?
Man, I always be, what car people we always be buying.
yeah, I'm sure you got something.
I got a few 240s. I got 2 S13s. I got an S14 chassis that I'd like to do something with. I got a 350Z as a seat time car. My Formula Drift car is an 86, Toyota GT86. So those are all kind of like the fun, cool cars. I have a truck to be able to do all this trailer. I got a daily driver, so I'm not, being all fast and furious on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Honda Fit life. And
Nice.
if you go to Grid Life, Honda Fits are cool now.
Yeah.
So I got to cool that I drive like a Honda Fit, not a Cavalier anymore. But
So why did you choose you said GT86?
yeah. So
why do you choose that as the Formula Drift car over?
okay,
as
so
chassis?
I got into drifting because I saw those magazines. I saw Fast and Furious, and I was like, what is drifting? Like, I didn't really even know. Like, I knew, like, going around, like stop signs and
Like
stuff.
Tokyo Drift?
Right, but,
Yeah.
like, what's, like, really, like, drifting? Like,
Yeah.
why is this becoming so popular? And my dad won 2 tickets on the radio, okay, to Formula Drift, West Virginia at Summit Point Raceway in
Wow.
2007. Now, just to put some context to that, I graduated high school in 2007. So I was still, young man, and I got these 2 tickets. And he was like, yeah, it's Formula Drift. I don't know, I went on the radio, and it's a car thing, and you're a car guy, like, I'm always working on cars and stuff. He's like, you should take you and your buddy. And I'm like, I don't even know what this really is. I mean, drifting sounds cool. I've seen it in the magazines, but whatever. I was like, let's just go. It's free. I only have an hour and 10 minutes from the track. Just check it out. So I took my best friend, and I saw 2 cars drifting in tandem on track. And I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing by far I've ever seen in my life. I was like, the way that the proximity of these 2 cars just driving like in synchrony, like it was just like, there was nothing like it.
Yeah.
There was just nothing like it. So,
and then you got hooked, and then you became.
I literally bought a 240 that year. I bought a 240 SX. Back then, you could get them for like $400, $500, $600. They might run. Maybe you gotta do like a tune-up or a fuel filter or something. That,
$400 to $600.
I have owned 16 Nissan 240 SXs in my life because you could just get them
be
so
able to
cheap.
get them for that cheap.
That cheap.
And what can you get them for today?
I don't know, man. I mean, you're paying over $5, and they're all clapped out. You're gonna get 10 if you want one like I had.
You're right. I've seen some go for like 15 to 20.
Yeah, because you got the S15.56 and the 7s on them.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's crazy.
the pointers, yeah.
They, got them all nice painted, the turbo motors and stuff. They can hop them up, and that car's worth like $30,000 before you blink.
You think it'll keep appreciating?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too iconic of a car,
Yeah.
And car culture's growing, right? There's so many different forms of automotive now, so it's like it won't lose it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm starting to like the S chassis a lot more. Like, I've always been more on the muscle side.
Yeah.
Like, the car that I drifted was a C5 Corvette.
Nice. Jealous.
You like the C5 Corvette?
Yeah, bro. It's already LS swap,
Yeah.
fiberglass body, lightweight.
And you could beat the crap out of it.
You just send that thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta know. I think like you gotta know how to drive. If someone was like, "Hey, Alex, if I was interested in getting into drifting, what chassis should I get?" and they've never drifted before, I wouldn't steer them in a Corvette because it's got too much mechanical grip from the factory.
Yeah.
But once you know what you're doing, yeah, man, that's the way to go.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to drift so bad that my hydro brake wasn't ready,
Mhm.
so I was drifting without the hydro brake.
Yeah, yeah.
And that actually taught me, like, it gave me a better experience
Love this.
versus like starting out with the hydro brake. Because then when
Love
I
it.
started using the hydro brake, I was like, this is way too easy. with the
Too
hydro
easy.
brake.
Yeah. The hydro brake is a tool, right?
Yeah.
And as a drifter, we have an access in the toolbox to be able to do what we need to do on track, right?
Right.
But a hydro is not our only tool,
Yeah.
right? We clutch kick, we left foot brake, we upshift, downshift, we initiate with momentum, like power
Yeah.
over, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just, the hydro has become such a internet famous tool that you must have in a drift car, and it's so not true.
Right.
So not true.
And for those of you that don't know, Alex is a guru. Like, he took it to the highest level you can take it. He went to you were in Formula Drift.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, very few people do that. So his knowledge and his background, like, it speaks volumes. So we're gonna dive more into that because I want to know what it's like to become a Formula Drift driver.
Oh,
What's
boy.
how do you prepare? Like, when you first became a Formula Drift driver, what did it feel like, and then how did you prepare that whole season to compete?
Sure. So when I think back about my grassroots day and I started drifting on track back in like 2009, 2010, it was just really grassroots drifting. We didn't have clutch kickers. We didn't have Holly Fest and LS Fest and Fuel Fest and Slush Fest and all these different opportunities, right? It was really just your local grassroots drifting event or Formula Drift, which was the, commercialized, pro level of the motorsport. So if you really wanted to advance and start moving in a direction where you wanted to do something with the industry, everybody pursued that road.
Right.
And if you wanted to do that, you just had to travel a little bit further and compete in some competitions that weren't necessarily like a financial prize or winning a sponsorship, but instead you would actually earn your Formula Drift license. The top 3 drivers at the end of the year collectively would be handed a Formula Drift license and have the opportunity to compete in Formula Drift. So that's what I did. I competed in the Formula Drift Pro-Am division. I earned my license through the U.S. Drift Sanction, which is in the Mid-Atlantic area. Brian Eggert runs U.S. Drift. He's one of the Formula Drift judges and has been for a very long time. And once I got my Formula Drift license, you step into this spotlight. It's like, okay, I'm in this professional series, so you have to have a brand, and you have to have an image, and you have to have a team that's going to be dedicated to come to all the rounds. If I hire a mechanic to work on my car at Formula Drift, And then at the third round, he's like, hey, man, I'm not feeling good. Like, I'm sick. I can't make it.
Right.
That don't cut it. Like,
Yeah.
This is, the direction of, the highest level competition drifting in the world. Like, so just having that preparation that you need from the teammates, the managerial side of, having sponsors, representing sponsors correctly, managing your team.
Are you full-time drift? Like full-time FD?
Yeah, so when I competed in Formula Drift, I would say that I was full-time, that was my full-time occupation.
Do you know if like all drivers are that way, or do you know if they do other things?
I don't want to speak on behalf of other drivers. Some people are self-funded, which is fantastic because that means they don't have any limitations as far as engine builds and consumables like tires and fuel and transportation needs and stuff. But other guys, are average just Joes who can wheel. And they earn their license correctly, and they're trying to figure out how to make it in this world.
Yeah. It's expensive. Formula Drift is expensive.
It's very expensive. Just for the record, I was one of those average Joes, right? I was an auto mechanic, built a cool car, was able to drive it at events. I could wheel a little bit, earn my license, and, I had to figure out how do I, hang out with this, role model that I've been watching on TV for the past 10 years or something, or how do I hang with this YouTube influencer who has millions of followers, or one guy. I'm not going to get into everybody's personal thing, but I'm just saying there's so many self-funded people, so it can be a little challenging. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm trying to hang with the less than 1%ers in the world.
Yeah,
and it can be tough. It can be tough, man.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of speculations and questions behind Formula Drift because people don't really know the behind the scenes. But are there any big myths that are about Formula Drift that you can say that's not true?
I don't know. I don't know any myths off the top of my head. I'm happy to bust any if you know any. But one thing that I would admit about Formula Drift that I think a lot of people don't know is there's so much knowledge. It's like if you really want to be a professional drifter, instead of going to a college where you would spend $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a year for your education, find a way to get into FD. Not necessarily even as just a driver. If you can be a driver, great. But even just crewing for another teammate, there's so much knowledge and information about car setups and how to compete competitively on track and assessing track conditions and all this race knowledge that lives within the walls of Formula Drift. And every team, every driver is open about teaching you and showing you their methods and how they do things, how they collect data, just what parts work, what don't work, but you don't actually get any of that knowledge in a grassroots environment. You're not gonna. It's all in the walls, and for some reason it doesn't leave those walls. You know?
Right.
So yeah, that's what I would say as far as a myth. There's a bunch of information that's available. And it's not like that in other motorsports. Other motorsports are hush hush, I'm not gonna tell you my secret of my drag car.
Formula One, they don't want nobody to know anything.
No, nothing. It's so competitive, and it's drifting is just super open, friendly community. You can walk up to any teammate, and talk to them, and it's great. It's truly awesome.
How many years total did you compete in Formula Drift?
4 years.
4 years?
Yep.
And what made you stop?
There are a couple of reasons that I stopped competing in Formula Drift. Number one, I had a really bad year my last year in FD, mechanically speaking. Reliability of your race car is uber important. Mm-hmm. If your car is broken, every time you go to race it, you can't race. And if you can't race, you're not going to get any points. And if you're not getting any points, you're going to come in really bad standings.
And
overall.
You got to spend more money.
You're going to spend a bunch of money. The team's going to be, the morale's going to be down. You're going to be upset. In any business, even outside of racing, we want to move in a linear rate, right? We want to do better than the last year by a certain percentage. And it can be really challenging to have that 1 year that really sucks. Every driver has that 1 year that says, dude, I'm so glad 2012 is over. That year was horrible.
It takes a lot of perseverance.
Yeah. And now that drifting has become so competitive and everybody wants to get into Formula Drift, if you don't do well, it's very hard to maintain your license and stay in it. Mm-hmm. I had a bad season, and it did not put me in good standings to come back. My license was not automatically renewed. If I wanted to continue to stay into it, I would have had to petition or reapply for my license amongst the other pool of other people who are petitioning to try to earn their license. Right. So that was a contributing factor. Also, the level of competition is significantly increasing.
Yeah, the world in general is getting more competitive by the day.
So competitive, and I mean the car's never fast enough. It's never light enough, right? Your team could be bigger. Your sponsors could be better. You know, whether you're giving you more spotlight or financing or whatever it is that you have your affiliations with your sponsors with. The social media aspect is unreal. Everyone's trying to collab with this driver because they have this much clout and stuff, and if you're not that level, they don't want to waste their time with you, and it's really becoming like that side of things. And I didn't fall in love with drifting for all that, right?
There's a lot of politics behind it.
That's a whole nother thing, but yeah, there's politics too, you know. And
I
even
mean,
all these things I just said.
Every industry has politics. If you really think about it,
Sure.
Yeah.
And after everything I just said, like, then you have to have actual competition, right? The actual like competitiveness of driving with the world's best at the world's most harshest environments at the toughest tracks, and you have to drive your car at its maximum potential, pushing its full limits. And you need to, you know, if you're 6 inches away from the wall, you're losing, and if you're 6 inches too far in the wall, you're wrecking. Like that, dude. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, you're still drifting. You're still having fun.
Oh,
you
yeah.
created a business called Jack Motorsports, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And you could tell us a little bit more about Jack, but
yeah,
you pass on the knowledge.
I love it. It's so self-rewarding. So the Jack Motorsports brand originally started as my Formula Drift brand. That was my business. So it's an acronym. It stands for Jimmy, Alex, and Chris. And these are the 3 original local guys that we all live in the same hometown, grew up together, went to high school together, built this LS swapped FRS, you know, and started competing. And that's how all this started. And then naturally, just as anything, when you propel and grow, sometimes you outgrow certain things. And you know, one of my guys started a family, had a child, and you know, you reach some limitations at a local atmosphere, and you need to broaden it, right, in order to grow any business. So I decided to transfer the Jack Motorsports brand into something else that would channel income for the FD car.
That makes sense.
So
That's a good idea.
I opened up the Jack Motorsports Drift Experience. So since drifting is growing, people want to know what it's like to go drifting, but it's not really a easy thing to just jump into. Like, you have to buy a car, and then you have to do some modifications. You got to, you know, have a welded diff or some kind of a rear end that allows.
You got to maintain the car too.
You got to maintain the car. You got to. There's a rule book. You have to follow a rule book. You have to have like a fire extinguisher and a helmet that's up to date, and there's these things that you need. In order to be able to just go to a racetrack with your own car to go drifting.
Yeah.
And it's very expensive. I mean, you're going to be $5,000-$10,000 all in just to go drifting for the first time ever, and you don't even know if you're going to like it. Yeah. Right?
And you got setup time. You got D setup time. Like,
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I eliminate all that. I've built a Nissan 240SX that I give you the keys to, and you get to drive it the entire time while I sit in the car with one-on-one coaching, teaching you everything I know, based off your level of coordination and, you know, learning ability. I don't want to overload you. We'll work in, you know, realistic goals, and we'll conquer those goals and move on to the next thing. And it doesn't matter if people are awesome and they're like 4th gear wall ride, you know, killing it on their first time, or if they're just doing figure eights and burnouts. Because honestly, just being behind the wheel at the track in a drift car is literally probably going to be one of the best days of your life, and you'll never forget it.
Definitely. I recommend drifting to everyone. 10 out of 10 experience.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. That's usually how it happens. I mean, someone gives you a ride and then you're hooked. That's how it happened for me.
That's how it happened for me,
I
too.
went up
It's
and
crazy.
asked someone, I said, hey, like, can you please take me for a ride? Like,
Yes.
this is crazy. I want to experience what it's like. And then the moment it happened, it was like a whole nother world.
And you touch a little bit of a sensitive subject for me, because it's like I also had that first ride-along experience that really, like, I saw drifting with my eyes, but to be in a drift car, that's what, like, I was like, this is happening. Like, everything I'm going to do moving forward is going to be drifting. So this is where I decided that I was going to devote all of my time into drifting, and I was going to be drifting for the rest of my life when I got that first ride-along. And because of that memorable experience, it was so powerful to me, forever, I will always give out free ride-alongs to anyone who comes up to me at any track that allows me to give ride-alongs. There are some festivals and there's some, competition series that you're not allowed to have.
Right.
But if I'm in a grassroots, local homie kind of event and you can come up to me and talk to me and you ask me for a ride-along, I'm going to give you that first ride-along experience.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Forever. I'm one of the homies, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. See, if you ever see him at an event, come talk to him.
Come shake me down. Be like, dude, I saw that podcast. I know.
He's going to be at the Slush Motorsports Festival on September 13th at Nashville Superspeedway. So plenty of opportunity there. So definitely come out. Come meet Alex.
Yes.
He's a good guy. I'm excited to have you there. Are you excited?
Dude, Nashville Superspeedway is such an awesome track. It's been a while since I've been there.
Yep.
But I just remember doing it in my early competition days, and like the knowledge that I now have and the driving skill that I now have, I can't wait. I can't wait
I'm
to
excited.
come back.
Because you full send. You're a full sender.
You got to.
What's like the craziest mile per hour entry you done?
I don't know. I think it was like 109.
109?
Yeah, so our cars are geared to the trans, which is geared to the tire because we set up the rear end gear ratio to make the wheel speed what we need to for the track. So, I can change that mile per hour as I need to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about how fast you're going. If you're just full throttling it and topping out fourth gear, there's nothing left.
there's
as a
nothing left,
racing four-speed transmission, there's no fifth. So if you're pegging fourth, you're doing something.
Yeah, yeah. How do you view the direction drifting is going?
So drifting is definitely going in a direction that's going to make it better for the industry. Drivers are going to get the media spotlight and the attention that they deserve for the amount of time that's putting into their program. I think there's going to be a financial solution for drivers.
That would be nice to see. Do you have an idea how that would work?
I don't know. That's
how
above my pay grade. But I'm just saying, like F1 drivers all have like Ferraris in their living rooms. Drifters do not.
Well, I think it comes down to like broadcasting, right?
Yeah.
So those broadcasting deals, and then also like getting a big enough audience. But like if you look at the NBA, they get 82 games, so that's 82 opportunities to make money.
That's true.
And then they have their broadcasting deals, so there's a lot of like inflow of cash.
Yeah.
But if Formula Drift can get bigger online,
Yeah.
I think that'll probably start opening the door for that.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say tomorrow, a famous person, I don't know, Tom Cruise. Let's say Tom Cruise tomorrow decides he wants to start drifting, right?
Oh, it would blow
He
up.
calls 1-800-Formula Drift and says, hey, I want to compete next year. I'm going to build this car. They're going to be like, please, come on in.
Right.
Like, that would make...
Yeah, the viewership would go...
Yeah, it would just... It would propel...
Or even if there was like a Netflix show, like Drive to Survive, but about drifting.
Yeah, exactly. And that idea has been pitched around so many years. I've been hearing it so many years in FD, and
Aren't they
the
making
fact
a
that
movie
it's
now?
been in talks, like it's gonna happen.
Aren't they making a movie now with Adam LZ and I can't remember that guy's name from Fast and Furious?
Yeah, the Asian dude pops popcorn all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift guy,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, he is gonna have a drifting event. It just popped up out of nowhere, which is crazy to me that you have a movie star, one of the most famous drifters now with the largest following. Like you have all these like, A-list drivers that are coming out to this event that just popped up out of nowhere like
Do you plan on
5
going?
weeks ago. I was invited to come and have my car at a booth. And would that turn into me driving? Maybe. I'm not sure, but honestly, that was going to be my birthday weekend. I was thinking about having a birthday party, and I already planned a birthday party, so...
There's nothing better than drifting, though. That's the best way to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah,
nah,
I don't know.
because then it'll turn into work. Sometimes it turns into work.
Yeah, especially at that level of driving. Like when you're at that commercial side of it driving, like I feel like 10% of it's driving, and the other 90% is marketing, right?
Yeah.
We represent companies and sponsorships, and getting paid, and we have to choose which events we go to now because there's so many events, and like your presence going somewhere on a given weekend is super, it's important.
Yeah. Super busy. There's a lot of things you got to focus on. Like, you just can't be one-dimensional. You got to be – it's almost like operating a company.
It is. And not all these drivers are business people, and they're not marketer people. So it's like it's tough industry. You gotta, when you get to that level, then you have to delegate some of those responsibilities to people who do know how to market or who do know how to do photography, podcasting, videography, and that kind of stuff, social media.
Who's been your favorite person to compete with in drifting?
Ooh, okay. Man, if I had to put one name, that's tough. How are you making me think about this? I do remember when I first became an FD driver, lining up against another driver that I consider like a role model. It's like I've seen this person in FD, and here I am against the line with them, about to go drifting in FD, and I used to get too excited and in my head. But then after being in FD for a bit, I realized, listen, we all earned our place to be here. I deserve to be against this driver at the line right now. So that started to kind of go away because I was it was like a mental game. I was kind of self-defeating myself. How am I gonna beat this guy? But you can't think like that in any kind of athletic competition environment. You have to remember you made it here.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It doesn't get easier. You just get better.
Right.
Yeah, you start learning. You start getting that knowledge.
Of course.
Knowing where you at.
The competition mindset, the car setup mindset, how to employ better people on your team to make sure you excel correctly, all those things.
Do you think it's possible to overbuild your car?
For sure. In Formula Drift, we are limited by different tire brands, compounds, and size. So if you, so I run a 255 35 18. If I built a 2,000 horsepower car, it would blow those tires off and they wouldn't even last 2 laps.
Yep.
I think a successful engineered drift car would be building the car around the tire, becoming one with the tire, pounding away to make that tire. Important. Yeah, it's the only thing connecting you to the ground. So if you want to be able to put your car in the right place, you need to have something you control correctly. And so if you build a car around the tire with the horsepower and the gearing and all those things, I think it's going to yield the most success.
Yeah, and you can overbuild it in a way of let's say I want a 3,000 horsepower car.
Yeah.
Now I can't enjoy the car.
Right.
I always have to think, even if I want to go and drive the car, because I have a whole day ahead of me. If I touch this car, it could break down. It could do this, do that.
Yeah.
And it's not as fun as if you were to keep the car close to stock or just did
Sure.
not too many crazy upgrades to it.
That's why my C-Time car is a 350Z. It's just the V6 DE. I converted to ethanol because I'm sponsored by Sunoco, and they give me the fuel to be able to maximize some more horsepower reliably out of my cars. But I don't have to worry about is this car going to break, because it's just factory.
It's reliable, yeah.
I'm not pushing the limitations of the drivetrain because I don't have 1,000 horsepower car. You know what I mean? It's reliable. It makes 350 horsepower, and it's great at any track.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I do want 1,000 horsepower drift car, just because it looks really cool.
Yeah,
the way
cool,
those cars
cool.
burn the rubber.
Yeah.
Is it's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. But too much power is definitely a thing for sure. Yeah. Because then you're only getting one tire a lap.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the track too, because different tracks have limitations. Is it a smooth surface? Is it grady? Is it a 100-degree day?
Yeah.
Or is it 50 degrees?
Well, the C5, when I was drifting, I was able to go through just 2 sets of tires in a span of maybe 8 hours.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah. And as you become more acclimated with drifting, you do it more and more, the tires last less and less and less.
Yeah, less. Yeah.
You stay in it more. You know the sweet spots. You learn the car. So. Yeah.
So what's the ultimate setup for a beginner for drifting? What would you recommend?
Well, I have a lot of knowledge now about different chassis because I've been fortunate enough to drive other people's cars over the years, which is a very diverse opportunity, and I think anybody who's aspiring to be a professional athlete in motorsports should drive as many different chassis of any motorsports that they can. But that being said, I think BMWs are really cornering the market right now.
BMWs are on top right now.
Dude, you can get a stock E36 or an E46, weld the diff, and go. Do nothing else. You don't even have to put an angle kit on it.
Dang.
So one of my students, I would say I have about a 70% retention rates of my students going out and purchasing drift cars and going drifting in their own drift car that year. I'm building an army. I've had like 50 students. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Watch out, DMV. But yeah, I've driven a stock E36 with a welded diff, and I remember initiating that car at 71 miles per hour, and the first thing I did was go against the driver's side door panel because it had stock seats, and dude, I just like slid against. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's always a funny moment. Like my C5, it had a stock passenger seat, so when I give ride-alongs, they would be like swinging back and forth.
Yeah, it's great. But to just have a factory car be able to do entry speeds at that level, which means that you can keep up at a small track or even a little bit of a bigger track, And the BMWs have really cornered the market on their geometry of their suspension and steering angle kits and stuff. Even my GT86, my Toyota, has a BMW front end. It has a E92 rack with BMW tie rods. It's all Wise Fab, but they relocated it from a rear rack car to a front rack car, and they use BMW parts to do that.
It's crazy how BMW is dominating in drift, but it's also dominating in like street car life.
Right. It's the ultimate driving machine.
It really is.
It's very competitive in every motorsport on the planet, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely need some more props. I haven't owned a BMW, maybe one day.
Yeah.
The first one I ever did one was a 335i.
Okay.
It never happened. But
okay. To be fair, I've never owned a BMW drift car, so I guess I maybe say this with a little bit of caution because I've never owned one. But right out the box, they hang.
They're the ones,
and I watched my friend Chelsea. Chelsea Nova is one of the best, inarguably one of the best drivers in the world, and he has owned like hundreds of these cars. And he'll fly somewhere, buy something on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace that day, and take it to a track. And he just does some like alignment changes and tire pressure changes, and if it has some coilovers, he'll do some quick dampening or sway bar adjustments. But he'll go out there and just like tear it up. And it's like, I mean, I understand he has a serious amount of skill, but it's like that car allows him to open up his skills correctly.
Right.
Not a lot of cars do that.
Yeah, you're right. Dang.
Not a lot of cars do that.
Yeah.
So, but I will say with the BMW, like they're awesome out the box, and they're awesome in like a full competition car, but there's this gray area in the middle. It's like you start to build it, and you just either have to commit or you need to back out.
Yeah. It used to be, because I hear that answer a lot now, is get the BMW, but it used to be, go with a 350Z.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure those are still good cars to start with.
Oh, for sure. Total party car.
I think people want the BMWs more now.
Go slam doors with your homies with a 350Z.
Yeah.
It's just an ultimate party car. You don't have to do anything to it. You put a little angle kit on it, weld the diff, but yeah, I mean, my seat time car had stock shocks and struts on it for years. I mean, I eventually got some coilovers from a sponsor, and I was like, of course I'm going to put these on to enhance the alignment and the drivability of the car and tunability. But yeah, those cars are total party cars. Love them. They're unique chassis because they're a double A-arm car, so not a Mac Peterson strut style.
Right.
So I think they do have some limitations in a competition format, not just necessarily in the steering and the suspension, but even in the chassis itself. But yeah, BMW I think is more superior just overall.
Overall.
Yeah. If you want a seat time car, you want a competition car, just get BMW.
Do the BMW.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
You're gonna spend a lot less to get the same results.
Yeah, budget-wise, yeah.
Yeah,
that makes
100%.
sense. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a BMW front end on my Toyota. Like, BMW just comes with it.
Yeah. Do you think those are going to appreciate days eventually?
Yep. Yeah, they're like the new 240 right now. I mean, a lot of cars are becoming the new, standard drift car, so.
Yeah. Well, we spoke a little bit about it earlier, but I think it's crazy to see all these, like, new generation BMWs drifting. Like, people are drifting, like, 50, 60, 70,000
That's that big
cars
money
out the box. You know what I mean?
Because they see that they watched that as a kid. They was like, oh, I see the BMW is a drift car. I'm gonna go get one.
They shred.
They do.
They do really good.
They do, man. I mean, when it comes down to any like real competition car, they're all the same.
Yeah.
We all got stupid engine horsepowers with racing transmissions, with quick change rear ends. We're all on Wise Fab.
Yeah.
All on coilovers. Like, it ended up just being the same thing. It's just what chassis are you going to choose to do it in.
Well, do you think, as far as the direction of FD, people are going to keep transitioning more into the new generation cars? Or do you think there'll always be, like the older S14s, S15s still drifting.
Ooh, that's a solid question. I think a lot of my marketing success was because I did have a new chassis. I bought my Scion FRS in 2013. That's the year it came out.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a 2012 because 2013 was the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And 13 days later, I took it out to a racetrack and went drifting, and it had 111 miles on it.
Dang.
You know how much attention it got then?
It's not even broken in yet. Yeah.
The internet wasn't even blown up then. Like, that'd been crazy.
That makes sense, especially from a marketing perspective. It's good to always go with the new chassis, too.
Yeah.
Because people are curious about
They're
what it can
curious.
do.
They look at it. It's not something they've seen before. You might be on the product and development side, and that's why I have some long life sponsorships, because I've literally spent time with prototyping and engineering parts for these chassis that are now mass produced and sold today, which is awesome. Also, sponsors, do they want to sponsor a car that's 30 or 40 years old? Or do they want to sponsor stuff that's brand new and they're like, that's hot?
So how successful do you think it would be for someone if, let's say, they brought a supercar to drift in Formula Drift?
Yes.
That'd be kind of crazy.
It's happened. We have Federico with his Ferrari, and we've had the Aston Martin show up, and we've had some of these supercars surface in Formula Drift, and it gets a lot of attention. Now, I think it might be a challenging chassis.
More expensive
to choose.
chassis too. Yeah.
From a
You don't
financial
want to hit the
perspective,
wall or nothing like that.
everything has to be
cars.
custom made. I don't know that they make drift angle kits for Ferraris. Maybe they do, and I'm just unknowledgeable.
Maybe
but
one day.
Yeah.
But you never know. That could be good for big viewership online.
That's true.
Like, I think people would want to see that, like, supercars drifting. That could be a lot of attention. Like,
So what's your focus, man? Do you want to compete at the world's best with the world's best, or are you trying to, get the front line in the media because you're drifting this, whatever,
I think I would say media is more important right now, mainly because drivers want to get paid. So y'all have to create more of a machine that makes more money.
Yep.
So then it could be done like you guys are like in the NFL, NBA, or you're in the UFC. Like, I think that would be awesome. And then people can really focus on just driving because money's not going to be.
And as a true enthusiast, that hurts my soul because I just want to drift.
Yeah.
I built this really cool car. I watched this Formula Drift grow into the series it is today, and the marketing side is really.
It's tough. Yeah.
We have drivers who became great drivers through Formula Drift, and then we have media people who show up to Formula Drift who might not have as much drifting experience, and we have this crossbreed of drivers in the series now. It's a very unique time.
Ooh, that is unique.
It's a very unique time.
It's a very
10
unique
years
perspective.
ago, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
It was solid drivers. Period.
Yeah, social media kind of.
It did.
People. You can say it ruined everything, but it definitely changed.
I'm not saying
it changed everything.
It changed.
It definitely changed everything.
Everything's changed.
And there's a lot of oversaturation.
Yep.
I think we need to find a way to cut back on that, but I don't know how. But I do see.
I don't know.
Did you see that YouTube now? Like, a lot of YouTubers are getting flagged right now, promoting any like if a car's two-stepping, they get a flag now.
Yeah.
Or like if they're doing a burnout, they flag the video.
I'm just not surprised. I mean, TikTok, you couldn't even post car videos to TikTok. That's why I didn't even have a TikTok for so long, because you post a car video and it's like, nope, flag for,
Well, now it's happening into YouTubers.
That's what I mean. I'm just not surprised. It's like,
But it is interesting to see what direction that will go.
Yeah, I'm very interested to watch it from the sideline, because I want to be able to focus on the things that I want to do. So, love to see what the direction of Formula Drift goes. I know it will only go up.
The direction of the YouTube flagging, like any car, almost any car related.
Any car related thing, yeah.
Because that's gonna change the culture like heavily. But I know their goal is to stop the takeover stuff and stop people from doing illegal stuff.
Which is great. Keep it on track.
You know what that helps? Exactly.
Keep it on track.
Come to the racetrack.
Come to the racetrack. It's so much more fun.
Come to the racetrack. I think
you're gonna spend more on tickets and stuff when you get caught, because you're not prepared. You're gonna get caught. You might get away with it a couple of times, but you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
Just go to the track, hang out with your homies, learn how to do it.
Well, I think in the future there's gonna be more at-home racetrack being built.
I honestly think there's gonna be a full-blown E-series, people watch drivers that are drifting on a sim, and it's like a full-blown FD thing, like FDE.
Oh, on sim racing.
Yeah, I think that's totally gonna be a thing one day.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think like if I could build a racetrack in my backyard, I would.
Me,
And that's
too.
probably the goal, like way down the line in the
Me
future.
too.
But I think that's
we
going
want
to
to
be.
talk about that. I want to do that together.
Yeah,
okay?
but I think people are going to start doing that more often now.
Yeah, everybody wants a drift mansion.
Hmm.
I want a mansion with a racetrack around it.
Have you been to the Drift Mansion?
Man, I went to the first drift mansion event.
Word? How was it?
It was awesome.
You got
It
footage of
technically
it?
had like a soft opening to like make sure like it formattically worked, but like a real like event. I went to the first drift mansion event, and it was sick, bro.
That's cool.
It was so awesome. It is literally the best drift event I've ever been to in my entire life. And if I could recreate that, I just need like a couple mil. No biggie.
Just a couple mil. I mean,
Just need a mansion and a racetrack and a baller garage. Man, that place is awesome. That place is so
buy
great.
some land and just lay some asphalt down.
Sweet, let's do it, man. Hit me up.
No, that would be awesome. I would definitely like to have my own like
Me too.
playground.
Because then all my friends come to me. I don't have to travel around the world anymore.
Yeah. You just got to be far away from neighbors because you're gonna make a lot of noise.
Yeah, and even then that's not enough, man. People be cracking down on what you're doing with your property and noise complaints and
Yeah.
agricultural land versus commercial and residential. There's all these codes and things, and it makes it really challenging to do those things.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. What's your opinion on car culture today?
It's definitely booming. It's fast paced. It's moving so fast. Like, I don't want to compare it to like fashion, but like trends come and then they go real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think cars are like that too. It's like, what are we doing with our cars? Because like, I remember when I first started drifting, like if you had a livery on the side of your car, like you were like an important person. Like if you saw a car that had a livery and was
cool.
drifting on track,
Yeah.
you're like, dude, who's that? That's that guy, right?
If you have underglow, it's
Yeah.
like, yo, this dude is wilding out.
Exactly. Now everybody's got a livery, that's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. It's like you said, like saturated, like, like trends, they come up and then they go. And, I just saw a photographer that I hired in Formula Drift years ago repost something from like 10, 15 years ago. And it was 2 cars drifting in tandem with not a single sticker on their cars. And they all were painted correctly. They didn't have matched body panels. They didn't have the unpainted body kit on. They were like good looking body kitted cars with no logos. And I was just like, dude, that's awesome. Like I haven't seen 2 cars drifting with no logos on them in a decade.
Yeah.
Like this is sick.
Yeah, and then we're all gonna want the clean setup, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And then 10 years
it's
go
a
by,
trend.
it's like
these things.
I think we need to bring the decals back.
Yeah.
What do they say? Like history always repeats itself.
It does.
Yeah.
It would be cool to do the line of logos down the fender or the door,
That
like
would be cool. Yeah, that would be super sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any new goals coming up for 2026 or the end of 2025?
Yeah, so I've actually spent a lot of time. This is my first year being at FD, so I've been really restructuring my program, putting some more time and effort into the FD car for doing some things that I should have done over the years, but was too focused on maintaining the team and the sponsors and just showing up to the events that really consumed all my time and financing. So I'm finally getting a chance to put that money back into the car and doing some things that I should have done over the years to make it more enjoyable to drive, to make the tires last longer, to make the car more lightweight, just to freshen it up a little bit, do some things that Alex wants to do to the car,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also with the drift experience, there's some things, enhancements that I've been wanting to do to that, and I wanted to bring some sponsors on board to really market and advertise some of their products. As a driver, it's my job to create ROI for these companies that I'm representing, and what a better way if you can actually drive a car with the parts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these people have never drifted before, so if 70% of my students go to buy a drift car, they're going to be looking, oh, well, what kind of coilover should I be purchasing, or what kind of clutch should I get for my drift car? Oh, I know. The Jack Motorsports car that I drove, that had this, and this, so of course I'm going to get that.
Yep. That makes sense.
From a marketing side, it's really nice to kind of develop that a little bit better.
What are your favorite sponsors that you work with right now?
So my largest, my title sponsor, the biggest sponsor on the side of the car would be Nonstop Tuning. They're a parts manufacturer and distributor out in California, in Southern California. And they got their start by making lightweight pulleys and adjustable cam gears. And they definitely have dominated the market. They have over 300 applications in their catalog for lightweight pulleys for cars. And they make custom one-off pulleys, which is really cool. So my Formula Drift car is supercharged, and I have the supercharger pulley, and I have an array of different size pulleys so I can quickly adjust boost at a racetrack if I need more power, or hey, maybe we can take some power out. We don't need all that for this. Make tires in the engine last longer and stuff like that. So super cool that they have that, and they've come on to have so many more products for cars. So yeah, they're my title sponsor. I work a lot with them. I still work hand in hand with them at events at Formula Drift even today. So
that's awesome.
It's very cool on that side of things. TDM or TDMI, everybody knows what JDM is, right? The Japanese domestic market. Well, Taiwan wants to get in the game, right? They're like, hey, listen, we make a lot of JDM parts. Like, why? Let's just cut them out. We're TDM, we're TDMI. We import these parts. So TDMI Imports is another company that makes suspension and shift knobs, and they're constantly making some high quality parts like big brake kits and some strut tower bars are made by carbon fiber. Nobody makes carbon fiber strut tower bars and stuff. So they're an awesome company. Super happy to be part of an international brand as they're located in Taiwan.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Fortune Auto is a big sponsor of mine as well. They make my racing coilover suspension that I can rely on in a competitive environment like Formula Drift. I can have that two-way setup. Where I can really dial in that car, and it's charged with nitrogen, and just like that high-end level of a coilover suspension that you would need for your car. And we are always prototyping and engineering some new things, especially with the 8.6 chassis since I've had it so long. So it's really cool to be behind such a reputable brand and be part of making and helping design and testing some new parts. That's a really cool thing.
Yeah, and that speaks volumes about like your team is bigger than just your immediate team. Like
Yes.
Your sponsors are your team.
Oh yeah.
And they help in a big way.
For sure.
And sponsors, they buy into you.
They do. Yes.
That's what people got to understand. They buy into you.
Yes.
So they believe in you and what you are going after and what you represent.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Yes.
Do you have any sponsors you want to acquire?
I mean, every driver would love to chase the next big fish or whatever have you. I have definitely looked into some alternative marketing and strategies to gain bigger sponsorships. But since I'm no longer competing in such a large realm anymore, I don't know that chasing that next big fish is necessarily important to me.
Well, you never know. We could do some cool stuff together.
We could. I'm never going to close any opportunities to any doors. If something presents itself, I'm not just going to be like, I'm retired now. I'm still doing things. Grid Life's got my attention, and Clutch Kickers, and we have some money comps like the Gambler Series and the 30K Riverside. There's a lot of things that are, getting my attention now that I didn't have the time to do before. That I'm really looking forward to doing in 2026. So representing companies is still, and marketing is always going to still be a huge thing for me.
Right.
But trying to get that six-figure sponsorship, it might not be, something I'm necessarily like chasing at this current moment. Am I in the future? Maybe. But for right now, I'm just really focused on restructuring my program and doing some events that I want to do, and whatever surfaces from that, I'm happy to explore.
Yeah. What are your best relationships that you were able to build through FD? Like, what drivers were you able to become friends with? Oh
man, I became friends with so many drivers. It's like I said, within the walls of Formula Drift, it's a little family. Like we all know each other. We all talk to each other. We all talk about our problems with our car. We all talk about the good times with our car. And man, when the lights go off and all the fans leave, and it's just the drivers and their teams, and I have a golden retriever. Her name's Aria. Everybody's grown to know Aria very well. When the lights go off, man, I let that dog run. And I get a phone call from, like, Odie's wife. Amy's like, hey, I think we have your dog here at our pits. And then next thing you know, I'm hanging out with Odie and talking to everybody on his team. And, it's just, it's a good environment, man. Everybody's grilling and hanging out. A lot of the drivers actually spend the night at the racetrack, which is so cool that still happens. We're not too big that we all have these fancy, hotels and Airbnbs and stuff. I mean, some of us do, but to be able to like. You said some of us, Some of us do, but I'm just saying, like, there is something nice to be able to sleep at the track, maybe not even for the whole event, but even for a night or two, just hanging with other drivers and walking the pits at 11 o'clock at night and sharing, a beverage with someone and getting to know someone, or just looking at how someone with the same chassis as you, but they're doing something completely different, looking at their setup, and it's just cool, man.
That makes sense.
It's awesome. And if you ever break apart, A, B, and C has LS motors, so let's go see if they have this, this alternator or this, starter, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Having that relationship is super important, because reliability is a big part of winning.
Yeah, I agree. Are you involved in any other industry within motorsports besides drifting?
I have.
Do you do the street car stuff? Do you go to car meets? Do you go drag racing? Do you like that side?
Talk to us about that. My primary focus and love is truly with drifting. I don't see that changing at this current trajectory, but I have done a little bit of drag racing in my early days.
Yeah.
And I have, when I got the FRS, I got it the first year it came out, I became a part of the Mid-Atlantic 8.6 Club, which is, anyone who has an 8.6 chassis is part of this car club, and it started off with only like 22 drivers or something, and it's over like 1,000 members now, and it's cool to be part of a a veteran of that. I don't necessarily go to every meet anymore by any means, but it's very welcoming to go back, if I only do an annual event or something, and to know that I'm still welcomed in that community, even though my direction has just changed so drastically in the commercial side of FD. What else with motorsports? I did I do like to give back to the community. I think that's why I really love the school car program that I have, the drift experience, because it's very self-rewarding to me just watching the smiles, and I know that I'm single-handedly growing the industry and my community.
You definitely are. You're
That's
opening the door for a lot of people.
And then I did a veterans event, so I went with a friend of mine who was a veteran, and they allowed any veteran who had a car that was a cool car come out to the track and just race their cars and stuff, and just going to that event and hopping in a couple of different veterans cars, and I was offered to drive like a supercharged Corvette, like the ZR1, and then I was offered to drive the Shelby GT500 Mustang. Like, I drifted these cars.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You drifted the Shelby? That's wild.
There was like a wet circle track, and they were spraying like water down.
Dang,
and he was like, "Do you want to drive my car?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." So that was really cool. But my primary focus is in the drifting, but I'm always open to other motorsports. It's just finding the time,
Well, at the Slush Motorsports Festival, I'm gonna have to take you to the drag racing side.
Dude, I can't wait.
The time attack side.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
We'll have a lot of fun.
These festivals are so great because it draws in so much different crowds,
Yeah.
You might have drifting fans, you might have drag racing fans, car shows.
It makes you realize how big the industry actually is, where it's like you have a car enthusiast, but there's niches within being a car enthusiast.
And when you bring them all together, you might notice something you didn't know before.
It's all about experiences. That's what I tell people is like, it's good to like cars and have fun with cars, but if you have no one to share it with, they're not that fun.
Yeah.
Like being able, like you said, doing the veteran stuff and having, children experience these moments, like that's like the highlight is when you can make someone else's day through what you enjoy.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And life's about good experiences, so why not give somebody a good experience?
Dude, I hate doing solo laps in my drift car.
Yeah.
I've drifted so much in my life.
If I have a seat, someone might as well be in it.
I have to have someone in the car with me.
Yeah.
Or I have to be doing tandem with my homies. Like, if they're not in the car, they better be, like, indoors reach.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people are afraid to come up to drivers and ask, but, like, that's honestly how I was able to learn so much was because, I don't know, I would come up to someone like you and I would ask, and then we have a whole conversation.
Yeah.
And you just learn a lot.
Yeah. I was like, come on, we'll get in here and we get to talking,
Yeah.
I talk a lot, so
No,
every passenger gets in my car, I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? Like, tell me about you, So it's always good.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely having that one-on-one experience is definitely memorable, and creating those relationships is awesome.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to having you.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be really fun.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be such a great event.
September 13th, you guys better come out. Nashville Super
Speedway.
Speedway.
That's right.
It's going to be good. We're going to have fun.
My man.
Yeah. If you have any questions, you ever want to hit up Alex, he does have social media. You want to say your socials?
Yeah,
and where they can find your company?
I've been doing this for too long, so everything is Alex Drifts. Just no underscores, no spaces, no dots. It's just Alex Drifts. So that's how you can find me on anything. And if you can't I'm Alex Lichliter. So just Google Alex Lichliter. Google will show you everything.
Well, we appreciate you, Alex.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me out, man. Can't
Yeah.
wait for the event.
Awesome.
Awesome.
See it. My dog. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thanks for having me out,
Thank you.
man.
That was dope.